This is Big Business with Sarah. This podcast guides you to finding what you desire most in life and business, because running a business is very much about your personal development. In this podcast, I'm sharing what my clients ask me and how I help them. Thanks for joining. How to get a big cash injection in my business? That's a question I really love. Or help, I need money now. And sometimes this just happens. I'm getting these questions from my clients, and I actually love it when it gets to this question for two reasons. The first reason is it means they're open about money and how it actually is going in their business. And they're really honest to themselves, I really need money. And also to me, I love that they're being honest to me. And the second reason is that it's an opportunity for them to see the magic of sales, because it's very much, sometimes sales, really working on yourself, sales is almost like waving your magic wand. And I always love seeing that and showing that it's also possible for you. So when I'm looking at my clients, once they really put their energy towards sales, they will sell. And it is actually, what I talked about magic before, it is actually incredibly crazy to notice. But once you do, you feel more in control of your sales, and sales is the fuel to your business. And if you're not selling, you won't have enough money to withhold your business, and you will have to close up shop. So you need sales, you need clients, you need money to keep running your business, or to do what you love. So how to get cash quickly. And I'm not a fan of getting rich quick schemes, and I'm all in it for the long term. But sometimes there's just also a lot of money being left at the table. And that's what this podcast is for, to inspire you to see and take action on what's already there. And also you can save this episode for the next time that you need a big cash injection to be able maybe you're saying I'm not really out of money, but you want to have an extra holiday, or you really want to stay in a more luxurious hotel than last time. And that's all going to be possible thanks to sales. And there's a 3-step process that I want to share with you to inject your business with some extra cash. Are you ready? So the first step is to set a target. How much money do you need? And what do you need to sell to get that target? So let's say you finally want to create a buffer of 10,000 euros so that you're never in trouble once, people don't pay your bills, or when you're not able to work for a while. So how much do you need to sell to actually get that 10K? So is it maybe one freelance service of 10,000 euros from one client? Is it selling one of your artworks of 10,000 euros? Is it 5 speaking gigs? Is it 12 online programs? I don't know exactly your pricing, but actually it is whatever it is that you need to reach that goal. Write it down. Don't just think, because your brain is not your business. Don't just think, but actually write it down. And also write down for yourself how much time you give yourself. Is it 1 week? Is it 1 month? And, you can also kind of challenge yourself. I'm currently, I'm recording this earlier, but I'm probably hosting a sales challenge currently with my clients. And I think it's going to be 2 weeks. So 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, maybe half year. If you are saying, I don't know, I want to make 100K a year, and I want to spend the first half year of 2023 to reach that. It's possible. Maybe you're thinking, no, but it's not really in my field. But I really want to challenge you to think creatively in this. The second step is to talk to your hot audience first. So as you may know, it's much easier and it costs much less to sell to people who are hot in your audience. So remember the last episode that I talked about, in the funnel, the people who are down below, the people who are desire, or actually that are taking action, those are hot people. So once you're pushing something out, they are buying from you. So they're used to working with you. They know you'll offer the quality, hopefully, but I'm sure because you're listening to this podcast, and it means that you are very much about developing yourself. So probably you are. And yeah, so it's very easy actually to sell to your hot audience. So there's a few groups of hot audience that I want to talk about. So first, check out your current client list. So is there something that they want that you can offer? So maybe you're thinking, I've been busy for the past couple of months. Now I have a little bit time left. I actually can help people with something. I actually do have some more time for this. So is there a question they're asking constantly and which you can really actually help them with that, but it's not in your container currently, or it's not a product that you've created? And try to think of how you can make this as easy as possible for you as well as for them. So make it a no-brainer offer for them. And most people, what I see, most people are literally shooting for the stars in sales, but it's just as easy as seeing what's right in front of you. So I'm always saying sell something before you create it. So never ever, for instance, if you're thinking, oh, you know what, I never made a video course, let's do it right now when I really need a cash injection. No, just really first, kind of follow the money. Well, actually, be ahead of the money and then actually start creating it. So it could be as easy as, for instance, suggesting to your clients, saying, you know what, I have an extra package that you can work with me. Currently, it's 50% off. You can have it, as my hot audience first. Here, you can pay here. That's. So hopefully this helps. Also, another group of hot audience is your old clients. So go talk to them, ask how they're doing, and see if you can help them again without being too pushing. Ask questions, how it's going, what they want for the future, and also maybe ask them for a review if you haven't yet. I will attach an article actually that I wrote a few weeks ago on how to do that in the show notes. Kind of rebuild that relationship, because also, as it goes with your current clients, they are hot because they loved working with you. Then the third group of the hot audience is your audience, your followers. There's always a couple of people who are always responding to your posts, your stories, your anything, your newsletters, replying to you. Have you actually talked to them? Ask them questions. Ask them, maybe this is a little bit strange, but ask them why they like you or why they like engaging with you. And you know what? There might be an opportunity for them to follow one of your free masterclasses or join your free Facebook community, or maybe you can send them some free samples, just as a thank you to being part of your tribe. Then the third step, so we talked about the first step, have your sales strategy, have your sales goal. Then the second step is, understand who's your audience, create a list of current clients, hot clients in your audience, your tribe. And then the third step is plan sales calls. And, I'm talking about demand generation in the previous episode, and I'm talking about attracting clients, but really at some point you do actually have to take, the first step and say, what, shall we have a conversation, in Zoom or in real life? And, you really do need to take charge, because your clients are not going to take the first step most of the time. You are in charge. So in those sales conversations, I want you to have genuine interest in their desires. Write this down and really talk to them. Do not use a script. You can do this, but don't talk too much. 90% of the time they're talking and you're actually just asking questions. Don't make this too much of the, I think the third degree it's called, not too much of an interrogation. But just have a natural conversation. And after those sales calls, do not forget to follow up and help them make a great decision by buying from you. And also think of when do you want to hold a sales call, right? So do you want to do it with when someone is buying something of 50 euros, or you're only going to start if you think, well, this person might actually spend 1,000 euros. And maybe there's also something I want to share with you, that maybe you've had some sales calls in the past that didn't convert yet, but actually maybe you could convert them today, because your prospect might be more ready than ever because you have created great content, which you've learned in the previous episode. And so, yeah, the more comfortable you get in creating this or actually applying this 3 steps sales process, the easier it gets. And I can say, I can really vouch for this, because, in my own business, I never learned selling until 2 years ago. And I really started applying it for 1 year ago, and it is actually true. The very first sales conversation I ever had was mega super cringe, but you will get better in time, I promise, and you just have to find your way. And I think sales skills are very important in any business. If you're an artist, if you're an accountant, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think this is the solution to get a big cash injection, actually, to make yourself more comfortable in sales. Play with it, go for it, and really enjoy it, because sales is so much fun. And now it's time for one of your questions.
Hi, Sarah. My name's Julia, and I just wanted to thank you for your podcast. It's such a joy to listen to, and you offer wonderful advice. I particularly liked your advice around sales calls and not helping clients on a sales call, which I was doing, and I stopped. And now I want to know, how would you recommend politely declining clients that aren't a good fit? I've had a few inquiries from prospects that don't fit into my customer journey. They don't align with my avatar. They don't help me. They're not in line with my goals. And I'm not really sure as to how to decline these offers in a way that maintains the relationship on a positive note. Any advice?
I love this question. Thank you so much, Julia. And you've sent me so many nice messages already. And I'm so happy that that advice for the sales calls, that you're not giving free advice, that was actually helping you. I did it too, by the way, before. And now I really have to stop myself from doing that. And I'm so great that I could pass that on to you. So I really love the question that you're asking, because it means that you are at a high level in your business, and not many people are actually ready to say no to their not so ideal clients. So I love that for you already. And so there's a couple of things you can do in this case. Actually, I wrote down 2, and I think actually the first one is, the best way. And so I believe honesty is really the best policy. And I want to ask you if you've ever seen the movie Miracle on 34th Street. Actually, it's a Christmas movie about Santa Claus and the Macy's Christmas parade. And I've never seen it actually before, whilst I actually lived on 34th Street when I was living in New York when I was 22. But I never watched it. I have no idea why, because I do love classic movies, but one way or another, I just missed it. So anyway, I watched it last year, so 2 months ago. And in this movie, I'm not going to explain everything, but just this sales part that I want to talk about. So at some point in the movie, Santa Claus helps parents find toys for the kids that they want. So, the kids come to them, sit on his lap, and then they ask for a race car or whatever, and then Santa Claus says, you know what, actually you should get the race car at the competition, not in Macy's, the department store, but in another department store. And at first the CEO of Macy's is not very amused, but then word goes around that Macy is one of the most trustworthy brands of that time. And the rest of the movie you can just watch for yourself. So you already know where this advice is going, probably. But the point is, and how to politely decline your clients, is send your clients to other people who might be really able to actually help them better than you can. And this way, you are offering a great service to others, and you might actually be able to receive a small kickback fee, even though I don't believe that you should do that, from your competitor who you're sending the clients to. You don't have to do that. But you're creating so much trust, so much service, so much. I think it's a win-win-win. And this way, you're helping your clients, you're helping your fields, you're helping your competitor, you're helping yourself because you're not working with the client and you don't feel bad about it. So I think this is the best advice I can give you. Another way to do this is to send people to, if you have that, I'm not really sure, to your scalable offer. So maybe you have some video trainings. But then again, if you believe they're not really aligning with you, maybe you don't want to do that. So maybe you want to stick to that first advice. So I want to wish you best of luck with that, and let me know how that is going. Now I have a question for you. So my question for this week for you is, what is currently holding you back in the sales process? Is it writing your strategy? Is it talking to people about your products or service? Is it creating your offer? And once you know your weakness, you'll know what to work on through, for instance, free trainings like these on the podcast, or maybe a deeper dive with a coach. And if one thing is a problem all the time and you've worked on it, it might be time, to look for another training or whatever. If something just isn't working, try not to accept that, if you know what I mean. Try to, really find out, how you can be helped, how, which training you to follow, which coach you have to work with, which book you have to read. So, for instance, I think, maybe you want to be better at storytelling to create more attracting content, how you can create more clients. Could be, and then buy a book of for instance, building a story brand. Could be anything, but really try to kind of put your money where your mouth is and really go for it. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. It was very much about money and sales. I hope you liked it, and you can submit your question through bureausbb.com/podcast, and I hope to see you next week. Thank you for listening to Big Business with Sarah. If you've enjoyed today's episode, leave a 5-star review and hit subscribe. If you're ready for your next step in business, you can find out how to work with me in the show notes. Do not forget to submit your coaching question for one of my next episodes. Have a happy day.